Hi, I am author S.C. Vincent, writer of several science fiction, fantasy, and horror books. You can find me on Amazon.com. If you just type in S.C. Vincent, you'll see several great books, such as The Sakura Element, East the Fallen, and The Arcadian Destiny. And you can even find some of my short stories where I've been published. If you just type in my name, go to my books, check them out. Leave a review, share them with your friends. I would greatly appreciate it, and enjoy the video.
Alright, so this is Struggling Gardener number, I think 12. But I really haven't been doing a lot of updating. But there's been some pretty big changes. So I'm going to try to back up here and kind of get a big scope of the garden. So that all the way to there, plus up on the trees, all that way. So you'll notice some pretty drastic changes probably. First of all, I finally do have a pumpkin growing. That's the typical orange pumpkin. It's actually at a good spot. So, I mean, that's good. I have a lot of greenery here of pumpkin plants that's really not becoming anything. There's like a little thing there. I don't think it's gonna become like an actual pumpkin. Then I have one pumpkin plant just growing out that way. And as you can see, there's been a lot of changes and a lot of death just because of the lifespan of some of these plants is kind of over. What used to be right here in this area were 3 sunflowers and 4 corn. The corn never really grew anything edible, and it was dying, and it was dead basically. And the sunflowers lived their lifespan. They were a successful plant, but they were just hanging over like that, and just I think they were sucking up nutrients, and the corn was probably too. That should be going to some of the other plants that are still kind of alive in here. Now, as you can see, the cucumbers really are mostly done for. You know, I got a ton of cucumbers during the spring and summer from these plants, and I think they lived their lifespan. As you can see, they're kind of dying out. But I do have still some cantaloupe plants and watermelon plants. I don't think I'm gonna have a successful either fruit from either of them, but I do have one giant tomato plant. You can see here, it's very fragrant. Looks like I have a tomato there that's ready to be plucked, which I'll take right after this video is over. It's kind of, there's a lot of dead stuff, but I can't really like cut this because a lot of this goes that way. Once it gets to the point where none of this stuff goes over there, I can probably start cutting down that. But let's walk around. And it's a very cool day, surprisingly. In the heat of summer, it's actually about 70 degrees where I'm at, so 75. So not a lot of mosquitoes out at the moment from what I can tell. And it's kind of cool, so it's not that bad being out. So this is a tomato plant which has a ton of tomatoes growing up. It's because it's getting all the nutrients in the soil that was there before. You can see there, that's where I cut the sunflower. Sunflowers very hard to get out of the ground. I can't do it. I'm gonna wait for them to rot a little bit more. Yeah, it's, you see how the post is kneeling over. This tomato plant is crazy, but yeah, we're just, you know, getting some tomatoes every now and then, small ones. And this is the tomatillos. I haven't had a successful tomatillo yet, um, but I mean they're growing. This is some sort of like cabbage, which I don't know why it's growing like this, but it is. And I think that's a weed. So let's see if I can just pull and get it out. Ow. Okay, we'll do that some other time. Those are broccoli that never did anything, carrots that never did anything, and lettuce and a bell pepper that never did anything. And those are lentil, I think, or flax. It was, I forget which one. I mean, it lived its life. I think it's done. See there. You can just take it out. That's what it became of that. It's not really doing anything. If anything, it's just taking up nutrients from the tomatillos, which are okay. Not everyone's a fan of the tomatillo, but here we have this gourd plant. The gourd plants have taken over the trees. This guy right here, I don't think he's gonna get any bigger. He's pretty much been the same size. I think he's kind of done. This is the last cucumber plant I have right here that's kind of producing anything, and it seems kind of like it's dead, but let's get over it. You see that? Like, I walk over and I have a gourd plant right above me, and I'll show you that, more of that in a minute. See here, I kind of have a little bit of a cucumber, but look, it's basically done for. I might be able to, oh, just get that off now. It's probably like the last cucumber I'll ever get from this. Let's cross here, place this guy over there. I just watered, so there's no cucumbers around. This is that tomato. We'll put him in a safe spot right there. I don't know, what about that? It looks kind of white, moldy maybe. I'll have to cut that off. I'm gonna go back actually, and we're gonna try to find where this cantaloupe, that looks like maybe not a cantaloupe, I can't tell. Here's a cucumber. I think the later the lifespan of the cucumber, the weirder the shape they become. Here's the cantaloupe. You know, these things usually don't. They haven't been very successful. Trying to find a watermelon. I think that's another cantaloupe of sorts. What the heck? Yeah, there's the watermelon. Seems like it's on a dead vine. So, yeah, it's not gonna happen for that. That's a done. Done deal for the watermelon, guys. We'll see about the cantaloupe, but watermelon's a no-go. I haven't had a lot of watermelon this year, but we'll see the squash on this plant here, see how it's coming. Last squash I had here rotted out because of the rains. Let's see this guy. It's these weird shapes, and it's kind of soft, so I think I'll pass. Let's try to get it over. What you'll see up here is a giant gourd. That thing's huge. I can't even reach it, so I'm just gonna wait until it falls. Anything down here? No. I know I'm kind of low energy, but I did kind of work today, so gonna make our way down here to this. This thing's giant. What this is some sort of strange mix with a pumpkin and a squash, I believe. And mosquito. It's giant. It just keeps getting bigger. Hear that? Seems kind of hollow. So I don't know when I'm gonna take that off, but I guess I probably could, right? Take it off the vine? Let me know. And this is the Cucamelon plant that's growing, or plants. I have quite a few. Let's see if we can pinpoint one here. I think I just saw one. Right there. It's Cucamelon. Quite a bit ready, almost, to be plucked. Cucamelons basically are just hard-shelled cucumbers in a bite-sized snack. Don't really have a bowl on me to kind of pluck, so maybe I'll do that later. And there's probably going to be a video attached to this one which shows the cucumbers or the Cucamelons, and maybe I'll have some pictures of this. This is, oh, perfect, you just saw me pluck the Kajari melon. We've had 3 of these. One was rotten, and the other 2 we've eaten. And these things, so basically you've noticed them that they're green in the videos. When they turn orange, see, this is what they look like normally, but when they turn orange, they're basically ready, and they basically slip off the vine very easily. So that's ready. They are extremely delicious. They are better than cantaloupe. They're better than a lot of other things. So about 9 will grow from a single plant. Oh, it looks like there's another one. Do you see it? This one is getting to that point. Not quite there. It's still green, but it's getting there. Awesome. These things are truly delicious. They were the ones I was least like I thought they would be the least likely squash to grow, and they actually did grow. Getting some squash there. Just good. Squash is great. It's great to put on your sandwich, and you can also just fry it up with some olive oil and preferred spices. That's great stuff. And here, yep, we have a decent squash. Not soft, which is good. Not quite ready. It'll be ready in a few days. Awesome news. And here we have another tomatillo plant. and growing right there. It looks like we had one fall right there, right onto a pumpkin plant below. What in the world? What happened here? It's weird. And as you can see, these pumpkin plants and gourds are at the very top. So this guy right here, he's going all the way here, up there, at the very top of this tree. I don't know what's going on, because these things are not producing pumpkins. They're producing these yellow things, like that yellow thing I showed you. This guy, they're producing that, which is not a pumpkin. It's some sort of crossbreed. So let's try to dig in here and get this tomatillo. Oh, unfortunately, that's all it produced. You can tell the skin is too rubbery, and this what's inside is basically not yet quite there. What you need to eat. It's usually much bigger. So unfortunately, trash it. I haven't really had a successful tomatillo, but we have some things to look forward to. Some Kajari melons, which are delicious. Definitely super happy. Oh, that rotted out all the way up that way. All right, so this was what's it called? I should have called it Savage Garden, but it was Struggling Garden. I think it's number 12, I don't remember, but we got 3 things today, and that's it for this one. I'm gonna try to do some more videos about writing, about my books. So, because I know these videos don't get a lot of views and they're long form, and I really want to help kind of show off my books, the things that I made this channel for. So if you could look in the description of this video and check that Amazon link, and please check out some of my books. Thank you. So these are some of the Cucamelons that I've gotten off the plants, off the bushes, off the vines. Never had them before. We're gonna see what they taste like. I couldn't spend too much time picking anymore because I was getting eaten by mosquitoes. So I'm gonna come back and do that later on, but we're gonna try these Cucamelons. That's how small they are. Hopefully they taste good. I'll probably tell you how they taste in the description in the video. This is what looks to be the first successful Kajari melon. I'm gonna, wash it off and cut it open. Notice how it turned from complete green to orange. It mostly slipped off the vine by itself. I just slightly tugged it by accident and it fell off. So we're gonna cut it open and I'll tell you what it tastes like.